Hi, brother teacher here. This video is for educational and informational purposes. That's my disclaimer starting out. This is perhaps one of the few videos on a subject matter that I hold very, very dear to my heart. And it's the subject of fatherhood. Now, I can talk about fatherhood from the standpoint of a father and his relationship with his son and daughter, if he's been fortunate and or blessed to have both. I could talk about his relationship with his children in general. But in this particular video, I want to talk about the father's relationship with his son. Even if you have more than one son, this video is for you fathers. It is to encourage you. It is to even empower you. It is to give you some hope. Let me say this before I continue. Life is indeed short and is not promised to us tomorrow. Make very certain that you live your life every day to the fullest so that you can provide value for your son. Now, as I prefaced this video, I said I could talk about children, I could talk about sons and daughters, but I'm talking about the sons. What is the greatest gift do you as a father owe to your son? I hope that this is not complicated for you. But let me say something that is much needed to be said. We men have a great burden on our shoulders as fathers. We are living in a society, and I'm speaking primarily in America right now. We live in a society that caters very much so to women. Don't all of you start applauding right now, because I know that you know it's true. Women outweigh us in the sense that society has a tendency, and a great tendency, to lean towards women as compared to a man in society. Women are responsible for bringing all life into the world. They are impregnated by men, but they carry the child for approximately 9 months. That child has bonded with that mother for that period of time, and even after the child comes into the world. And that child becomes close to its mother because she was the vehicle that brought the child here. Even though the father has a significant role that he plays and should play in that child's life, the child is always going to lean more towards mom, male or female. So mom is going to be the one that is going to take care of bathing the child, making sure the child or the son is ready for school, dressed, does his schoolwork, does his chores. Now, it may seem and appear that I'm crossing over talking about children at the same time, but it's okay. But for all intents and purposes, I'm focusing on the male child. Now, dads, since mom gets so much attention during her birthday, sweetest day, even though from what I comprehend it was originally intended for the man, Valentine's Day, Christmas, all of the other holidays, it seems as though mom is the one that's thought of the most. Even in our society, when you get on public transportation, let's say a bus, women standing up on the bus are oftentimes given the seat by a man. If they're standing and the man is sitting, ma'am, you can have my seat, just because it's a woman. Even in the grocery store, the shopping mall, standing in line, it's not uncommon to see a man allow the lady to step in front of him to take care of her business. And he'll be second or last. If we see definitely a woman being abused by another man, most strong-willed men will say that's inappropriate, and they will intervene and stop that other man from harming that woman because she's a woman. She's weaker in stature. She's not a man. And sex is one of those things that draw men to women as well. So we look at women as a sexual object. But that woman has this power over the man. But it's nature. It's hormonal. So someone said, well, brother teacher, you started out talking about the father and his son. And you end up talking about the woman and her attraction as it relates to a man. I was crossing over a little bit, and I'm apologetic for that. But I'm going to get back on the track. I was just basically saying the important role that a woman has in bringing any child into the world, to include the son. So now, the father, with that woman bringing that child into the world, in a sense, it seems like it's a card game, theoretically, and she has the upper hand. When you look at the court system, you will see in most instances, if a man and woman that is married are dissolving the relationship and divorcing, the woman usually gets virtually everything. If there's a house involved, she gets the house. If there's an automobile or a vehicle involved, she gets the vehicle. And 9 times out of 10, where the children are involved, she gets the children. It's true. Did you note that I said 9 times out of 10? So that left a small percentage of the times that maybe the man is the most capable of raising the children or that son. But in most instances, it's going to be the mom. Even when a woman is driving down the street and she's going past the speed limit, police officer pulls her over. She has a way about herself, especially if it's a male police officer. She has a way to speak, and sometimes he'll let her off with a warning. Not in all cases, but it happens enough to be noted. And sometimes, if it's a female police officer, it's a woman thing. She may let her off with a warning as well, just because that's the way the girls do it. But not in all situations. But it does happen enough to be noted. So, now, one thing about the woman having this power, which is what I'm getting at, she has all of these things going for her, to include this I am woman thing, this feminist movement, this power of being a woman and being independent and making more money on jobs nowadays, or as much as a man does, if not substantially more. She really feels like she's accomplished so much. So much so that's the working poor mother, the middle class mother, and even a woman who's the executive, who has children, and the father is not in the home. And in many instances, especially with poor and working poor people, the male has to pay alimony or child support. And God forbid that husband or former husband or boyfriend moves on, leaves the home, and the mom is thrust with the position of raising that son. Do you follow me so far, fellas? So now, the mom have all of these things on her side. The court system, even society, and even other women. And God forbid she has a bunch of women in her family, to include her mom. They're all going to be on her side. And it feels like we oftentimes are alone, guys. It feels like oftentimes that we are behind the 8 ball and that the system is against us. Alimony, child support, having to pop up for the child's birthday, dealing with the mom in another relationship with another guy, and so forth, and that guy being the stepfather to your son. And sometimes you give up, guys. You just say in your mind, sometimes you don't verbally express it, but you say in your mind, wow, this is a hopeless situation. I'm staying away from that woman. And in some instances, and this is not me cursing, you say, that bitch. I don't call women bitches. I never have in my entire life, not even once. Women are not bitches, but that's what a lot of you guys do. You say, that old bitch, can't stand that bitch. Won't let me see my son. Or she got some dude laying up with her. But what if you have a new wife, a new flame, guys, or a new woman, and she keeps playing the children against you, telling them that you are no good, and that's why your daddy's not here right now, because he's done XYZ. Women do this. They do it on a regular. Oftentimes it's because they're hurt from a prior relationship before you, or even from the very fact that you're not together anymore, and maybe you were her support on some level, but something occurred in the relationship that caused you to have to dissolve that same relationship, and your children end up with her, especially your son or your sons. Guys, sometimes out of anger, out of frustration, out of fear, and even out of humiliation, you feel you can't come around the house. Your son calls you and says, Dad, what are you doing? You say, hey man, how you doing? Can we go to the movies? Or can we go to the park? Can we go watch a game or play basketball? And you tell him yes, and then you never show up. Do you think this is right? Do you think that this is appropriate behavior? making your son promises that you don't keep because you find out mom has another boyfriend or even another husband, and you're feeling a certain way, or you're in your feelings, as they say. Dads, I want you to listen to me very, very carefully. I know sometimes some of you that are listening to me right now, you find yourself in this position where you feel like your hands are tied. You feel like it's hopeless. You feel like things will never change for the better, for the good, as it relates to you in your own life, and that you can't, for some reason, navigate forward. You feel like the weight of the show, excuse me, the weight of the world is on your shoulders, and that you've been mistreated, and you have. In many instances, you have, because the woman doesn't know a lot of times the impact that she has in a negative sense on your life. She doesn't know that, and sometimes if she's aware, she doesn't care because she's in her feelings and her emotions. You have to understand both sides. You have to understand how a woman thinks, and that in most instances it's always emotions involved, and very rarely is it logic and the truth she's operating under. So guys, you feel like you can't connect with your child simply because you and the mom are disconnected. But did you not know that sometimes you have to bite the bullet? You have to swallow that bitter pill and be the bigger person and try to get out of your feelings and do what is right. I've known guys that are working 2 and 3 jobs to pay child support, and they take a substantial amount of your income, and you barely have anything left. You're living in a 1-room apartment, an efficiency apartment, with just 1 room and a bathroom, kitchen sink, refrigerator, stove, and that's it. Sometimes you're staying with your mom or dad or one of your children, if you have a grown child, and you feel like you are burdened to them because that's not the ideal situation you want to be in. But you don't have very much choice because the system is taking so much from you. And oftentimes you feel like you have to go and smoke your cigarettes to try to take your mind away from the pain because it kind of calms you down in your mind anyway. Or you have to go and have a drink as often as you can afford it to numb the pain that you're feeling internally because you don't know quite how to express the hurt that you're experiencing. You feel and you believe that the world has turned against you and that you're all alone. And you feel dead inside. But it doesn't stop the negative comments coming from the mom when she sees you. Why didn't you show up the other day? Your son needs some shoes. Your son needs this and that. She doesn't analyze your situation. She doesn't realize the amount of stress that you are undergoing. You're both going through stress. She doesn't realize the amount of stress that you're going through because you're trying to pay into a system that was designed to destroy you. You follow me, guys? So I understand and I comprehend where you are. I do. I've experienced it. But at the end of the day, these are the greatest words that I could give you, my friend. And note that earlier in this video, I made the statement to you that life is short and it's not promised to us, not tomorrow. Hear me and hear me well, guys. You may work a job and you're separated from your son. He may love to play the video games. He may love Fortnite, even Call of Duty, if he's of the appropriate age, of course, or Roblox if he's a younger child, or Mortal Kombat if that's still available in the current year that I'm speaking. But all of these videos online on his Xbox or his PlayStation 3 or 4, or his phone just going away on YouTube, all of those things might be nice. And even you bringing him some Air Jordans or the newest Nikes, or getting his haircut and putting all of the designs in his head and taking him out to McDonald's and so forth when you're allowed to have visitation. All of those things are wonderful. But you know what? Even though he might enjoy them, it's not the greatest game. It's not the greatest thing. That's not the greatest thing that he's looking for. He might like the Nikes. He might enjoy going out and having a meal at the restaurant. He might even like going to the game place, Game Works or what have you. He might enjoy that. But the greatest gift that your son is looking for, you can't buy it. The greatest gift, fathers, that you can give to your child is you. Do you understand? You see, everything else that I just mentioned is superficial and temporary. But the greatest gift that you can give to your son, since he came from you, is him knowing that you are there. And that's really internally what he's looking for. He could care less about the other things, even though he might seemingly enjoy them. But he wants dad. He wants his father. He wants his father's attention. He wants to feel like he belongs. He wants to feel like you love him. Even though oftentimes when they're really young, they cannot articulate it the way that they want to. But if you pay close enough attention, dads, if you really look at them when they are around you, they are really reaching out to you and saying, Dad, all I want is you. So, if you're working a job, putting in a lot of hours, or you're working 2 jobs, or even 3 jobs, I know you're tired. I know you're stressed. I know you're overburdened. But there's no greater job than that of raising a child. You have the greatest job in being his hero. He's only going to be a child once. Why not allow him to be a part of your life forever? So even though you and the mom might not be on one accord, make certain that you put forth your best effort to make that situation as amiable as you possibly can, so that you can connect with your child, with your son. And make very sure that every opportunity that you get to spend time with your son, that it is a visitation and an experience of value. Tell him often that you love him. Hug him and let him know that you are still his strength, even if you're not in the same home with him. Make that impression to him. Call him on the phone to see what he's doing and have a conversation, but there's nothing like being up close and personal. Those are the most valuable moments that you can have with your son. I'm going to leave you now. And I want to tell you this. Even as I'm sitting here right now, I'm at my job. I'm at my business. And I burn a lot of midnight oil trying to provide for my family. Sometimes you have to do what you have to do as it relates to providing and building for your family's future. But as you are doing this, don't forget the key thing. Every opportunity that you get, dads, fathers, you make sure no matter how many hours you work, no matter how long you're away, when you meet back up with your son, your baby boy, your young man, you make it count. And you do what I said. You hug him, you hold him, you kiss him, and you talk to him about life. And you continue to be that strength for him and help him in how he should navigate through this thing that we call life. Let him know that you are there for him now and always. I felt like I had to tell you this. So when I get home tonight, as I do every single night, and I kid you not, every single night, and when I see my son, I look at him, I hold him and I kiss him, and he comes to find me when I come in the house. And I always bring him something. He's looking for that. But the most important thing that I bring my son every night is me. You be blessed, you fathers out there, if you are estranged from your children in general, and especially if you have a son. Undo that today. Make that thing right today. And go and get your child. This is Brother Teacher. All of you that are listening to me right now, all of you guys, I don't care where you're from, where you at, I want you to know that I know what you're going through, and I have experienced it. I sincerely love you, and the Almighty loves you, and may He continue to bless and keep you all. And for you ladies that have watched this video, take some of the pressure off of the father of your child and allow him to see his child as he should. You're his mother, but after all, that's the father. And there would be no son or a daughter, for that matter, had it not been for the father. Have a good evening or a good day, wherever it is that you might find yourself. So long.